Welcome to the Goddesses of Social Work podcast, hosted by Renita Ray Davis, licensed clinical social worker, board-approved social work clinical supervisor, and facilitator of the Goddesses of Social Work supervision community. Join us as we travel through the social work journeys told by the Goddesses of Social Work community members, past and present, as they make their way toward clinical licensure.
Welcome to the Goddesses of Social Work podcast. I'm your host, Renita Ray Davis, and today I'm joined by Claire Culp as we kick off a powerful new series leading up to our upcoming event, the Remember Me documentary screening and community gathering, hosted by the Central Alabama Aging Consortium on November 1st, 2025. Claire is the SenioRx Coordinator at the Central Alabama Aging Consortium, where she specializes in managing and coordinating pharmaceutical services for aging populations. With a strong foundation in the sciences, Claire graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry and Biology from Auburn University at Montgomery, AUM, in 2022. In her current role, Claire combines her expertise with the pharmaceutical industry with a deep commitment to improving healthcare for adults. Her responsibilities include ensuring safe and adequate access to life-saving medication, advocating for her clients, and collaborating with interdisciplinary teams to enhance patient outcomes. Claire is passionate about leveraging her scientific background to improve quality of life. In addition to her professional experience, Claire is dedicated to continuous learning and staying updated on industry trends and advancements in pharmacological and geriatric care. Outside of work, Claire enjoys spending time with her two sisters and volunteering as the chapter wellness advisor with her alumni sorority, Alpha Gamma Theta Beta. She also enjoys being an advocate, particularly for the autism community, as well as the deaf, hard of hearing community. Claire, welcome to the Goddesses of Social Work podcast. I am so glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
Yay. Claire, what is a chapter wellness advisor with your sorority? What is that? What do you do?
Yeah, so a chapter wellness advisor is just about exactly what it sounds like. I oversee the wellness of the chapter in whatever capacity it looks like for my members. Mainly what I do is I have a lot of conversations with our sorority girls, and we talk about a wide host of things. We talk about mental health and eating disorders. We talk about domestic violence. We talk about financial literacy. We cover just about all of it there. Chapter wellness is a space to have those difficult conversations.
Wow, that is a big responsibility.
It
is. That's a lot. That's a broad spectrum. But I'm also just thinking those girls and women are really lucky to have the fact that you guys already have set up a chapter wellness advisor. Yes. That's pretty impressive.
It is. And I know that I hope, they appreciate me, but I appreciate them just as much. At the end of the day, I believe, people are people. So in whatever capacity you need help, whatever that looks like for you, that's kind of my job, is to jump in and help you where you need it.
And I'm wondering, Claire, because one of the things we were talking before we hit record, I love reading your bio, the fact that you have a background in chemistry and biology, but you're also an advocate in the autism community and the deaf and hard of hearing community. And then you are also taking on the chapter wellness advisor. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's pouring a lot out from yourself. Do you take time to pour back into yourself?
I do. I think that's something that's really important. So you can't pour into other people. Like if your cup is empty, you can't pour into other people's cups. So I do go to therapy. One thing I like to do is journal. I like going on walks at the end of the workday, just to kind of take even just 10 minutes, just kind of refresh my mind.
I love that. A reset. Yes. Good for
Yes.
you. And you graduated 3 years ago and you're in this field, this helping profession field. And for you to already have some practices and rituals in
Mhm.
place to make sure that you are doing your own self care. And self care doesn't look like, going to a spa. It looks like exactly what you're saying,
Mhm.
going after work and taking a 10-minute walk to
Yes.
move the energy and to reset. And you doing that so soon after graduating and already having that in place is emotional intelligence at its highest frequency. Yeah.
Awesome. It
Yeah.
is it is very important. It's something I try to preach to all of my girls and even my clients at work as well. It's just you have to take time for yourself and make sure that you're good in just whatever way that looks like for you, whether it's the walk or just meditating, journaling, talking to your therapist, making sure that you're okay.
Absolutely. And, I love that you said that because oftentimes, especially since you're within the sorority, the younger girls are going to look at what you do, not listen to what you're saying. So the fact that you are going for your walks, that you have your own therapist, they're going to be like, Claire's doing it, so it must be okay to do it as well. You're modeling that behavior
Mhm.
for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And my favorite people are people who have therapists, especially
Oh,
here in the helping profession.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with especially like our incoming freshmen, sophomores, I mean, this is like their first time kind of getting out into the quote unquote real world. And that can be scary. That can be scary. So I think it's important to talk about things like, hey, go get a therapist. Like having a therapist is cool. That's what the cool kids do is being able to talk to somebody. And cool kids meditate, cool kids go on walks. And just making sure that they're supported while they start navigating their life journeys.
Absolutely. That is so great. Claire, thank you for the work that you're doing. You're doing a lot of work in a lot of different areas. But before you were doing all of this work, I'm curious, what did you want to be when you were growing up? And or who inspired you?
So I wanted to be a lot of different things growing up. I changed my mind all the time. I remember I wanted to be a doctor, then I wanted to be a scientist, then I wanted to be a chef, an artist. I think after that I went back to doctor, to pharmacist. I wanted to be a whole lot of different things because I have so many different interests and passions in my own life. As far as who inspired me the most, that would be my mom. My mom has inspired me the most. She is a very fierce and passionate advocate, but she carries herself with so much grace. And her ability to show compassion to other people is something I have never seen elsewhere. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. And for me, I look up to her because I want to be able to embody that in my life as well.
That is such a beautiful tribute to your mom. And I hope she gets to hear this because that is such a beauty. And the fact that you have, and we're about to get into your journey, but the fact that you have a degree in chemistry and biology, and yet you wanted to embody compassion and advocacy. Let's hear how, I mean, apparently your mom played a big role in leading you to that, but yet you have a degree in chemistry and biology. You weren't going to be able to get away from embodying compassion and helping, even with a science degree. So tell me, how did you end up with a degree in chemistry and biology?
Well, I mean, I've always loved the sciences. I have always loved sciences. I can remember even being a little girl and just going through all of these different science books you get at the library or at school, just being like, wow, I mean, like, this is awesome. Like, I want to learn more about this. I want to do this just in any capacity. So having a passion for the sciences, I think furthermore from that, like just lifelong learning is something I've always been on board with. So that's where I think the degree came in. That's how I ended up there. I've ended up here with Central Alabama Aging and working in the helping professions because even with my degree in chemistry and biology, I just can't seem to get away. I can't pull away from the helping profession. I can't leave it. I'm far too passionate about that as well.
And let's talk about that. How did you get into the helping profession?
So I think my love for the helping profession came from when I was a child. So I have an older sister. Her name is Misha, and she's 25, and she has autism. And even though she's 25 years old, she's like mentally at the age of a toddler. And she needs help with things like bathing and eating and laundry and all of these different things. So I've always taken care of her my entire life. In fact, I'm going up this weekend to go hang out with her some more. Um, it was always a very fundamental part of my life. I was born like a little under 2 years after her, and my parents ended up raising us as twins. So they dressed us the same. We always played together. Mom says that Nisha and I had our own language as kids. And eventually I did end up surpassing her, but that bond has never been broken.
And so that, because I was thinking, and I hope Misha gets to listen to this too, but I
Mhm.
was thinking, I've done so many of these interviews, and a lot of the women that I've interviewed, they said they wanted to be nurses or doctors. Like you said, you went back to
Yeah.
that twice, right? But then they took a science class or a math class, and they're like, oh, this isn't for me.
Mhm.
And that's how they ended up in the helping profession. But you passed all those classes. You
Yes.
passed all the science classes. I mean, chemistry, you have a double major, chemistry and biology.
Yes.
You passed all the science classes that kind of weed people out of those
Mhm.
professions, and then they find their true path within the helping profession.
Mhm.
And yet you still came into the helping profession, and it sounds like both based on how your mama must have been an advocate for
Mhm.
your sister, and
Yes.
then the bond that you have with your sister. I'm wondering, Claire, if you don't mind sharing a story of a time you witnessed your mom advocating for your sister and what impact that had for you.
Oh, I mean, there's so many. There's so many. So another thing about Misha is she cannot talk. So in times where like she may be vulnerable or she needs help, she can't stand up for herself or speak for herself. So that's what my mom always did. And she always stood up for my sister no matter what. Um, and we saw that everywhere, whether it was in schools, like navigating the education system, like with special ed, just with somebody like Misha, for restaurants, at the doctor's office. I mean, it's everywhere. Even to this day, my mom and Misha, like they still live together, and she advocates for her to this day, and will continue to do so.
How lucky that you guys have such a great mama. I love that
Oh
for you
yes.
both. Yeah, I love that for you. Before we hit record, Claire, I was talking to you about how excited I was about doing this interview because you have a degree. I keep saying it because I'm blown away by it. I think women in sciences is so badass. So the fact that you have a degree in biology and chemistry to me is so impressive. But when I read your bio for the first time, I loved your intentionality of, yeah, I have this degree in the sciences. Yes, I am working within a helping profession, but I am being intentional about combining those two things. Um, and especially with your work with that we're going to talk about in just a second with Senior RX. But how do you see you combining the two things, the sciences and the helping profession? Like, what do you think the trajectory of that type of career could be for you?
Honestly, I think it could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I mean, I can do anything. I know I can. I also think it's really important to combine those things. I don't think that you can be in healthcare without helping care. You have to have both. It is really important to combine those things.
absolutely. And so you are now within the Senior RX program, which
Yes.
is a combination of those things. And
Mhm.
but some people don't know, and that was one of the reasons we wanted to do this special podcast series is to get the word out about these amazing resources right here in Central Alabama. So, can you tell us about Senior RX and why it is so important to our community?
Oh, absolutely. I love it. So our SenioRx program, it works with our community in Montgomery, Elmore, and Altaga counties. And that's what Central Alabama Aging serves. And we do have AAAs across the state. So if you do reside in another county, you can also access the SenioRx program there. We serve those who are 18 and older that need help affording and just access to their medications. And this is very, very, very important. I stress it to people all the time. I worked in retail pharmacy for about 5 years, and way too often I saw people come through and said, "Hey, like I need my insulin." Their insulin's $1,000, and that was under their insurance. It was $1,000, and in the scope of retail pharmacy, it's I'm sorry, I can't do anything for you. So if you don't have that $1,000, you can't get your insulin. Like I'm sorry, and they just walk away. They have to leave. With SenioRx, I have access to talking with these pharmaceutical companies and going through patient assistance programs to get people the access to this life-saving medication. And that not only makes sure that they have their medicine, but it takes such a financial burden off of people. I mean, if you're talking about medication that can get upwards of like in the thousands every month, and you're talking about people who may be on a fixed income, I mean, that's it. How are you going to afford groceries or housing or clothes?
Absolutely. I'm so glad the service exists. It's so good. I wrote down three things. One, you said there's AAAs all across Alabama. What is a AAA?
So a AAA is an area agency on aging.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 13 located across the entire state, and we are with Central Alabama Aging Consortium.
And then I wrote down, because when I'm hearing that, I automatically go to 65 and above. These must be services that are for people who are 65 or older. That's what we kind of been trained. But you immediately said this is for people who are 18 and over. How does that work in an aging organization?
So it is really interesting because our organization name is Central Alabama Aging Consortium. And then our program name is SenioRx. So when people hear of SenioRx, they think, oh, seniors. When really we can help people that are 18 and older. And as far as Central Alabama Aging, I mean, we woke up this morning, hallelujah, we're aging every day. So it really is for all people who are aging. We have programs that service clients from 0 to 100.
That is amazing. And so then I'm curious. So someone has a prescription.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the pharmacy. They even maybe, like you said, have insurance.
Mm-hmm.
They're 18, 19 years old, and they can't afford it. When the cashier says it's $989.
Right.
Oh my God. But I just heard Claire Culp on the Guys of Social Work podcast, and she says that they can help me. What would that look like for that person?
So that person can reach out to our ADRC line, and they do a full intake. And the main reason that we do that is to screen you and make sure that you don't need any other services as well, because you need help with your medicine, but we may also identify, hey, you might have food insecurity and you need help with food. Here's some food pantries you can go to. We can refer you to our TRIO program. And then from there, I will receive the referral, and then I can work with the client to ensure that they get the medication that they need. And another thing with SenioRx is with the medications that we're able to get approved, those usually get shipped to their homes. So we also eliminate like that barrier to access of someone having to get to the pharmacy. Like not all of my clients can drive to the pharmacy or even feel comfortable driving to the pharmacy, but it gets shipped directly to their home every 90 days. And that program lasts for a year. And then we renew it the next year, just as long as they need it.
And so what I heard you say, even though they're going to have an intake with the ADRC line, not to be scared of that. The intake isn't to weed them out that they don't qualify for the service. The intake is actually to include them in other services that CAAC might be able to help them with.
Absolutely.
if there is this, I'm thinking of a 19-year-old who's like, I need to get my antidepressants because I'm a therapist. So that's what I'm thinking about. And literally, what I'm hearing you say is she can't afford it. She just needs to contact the ADRC line.
Yes.
And there is a possibility that you guys are going to be able to help her.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. I am loving that too. No wonder you're so excited about that. Why do you think people aren't, and especially I love this for social workers, because I'm wondering if social workers know about this program. Like why aren't we using this? Like what does weed somebody out?
For the senior,
for the senior, what would be like, no, we can't help you?
I haven't found anybody yet.
Wow, Claire.
I've been with the agency almost a year, coming up in September. I have not found anybody that has been weeded out, quote unquote. I don't weed people out. I help them wherever I can, in whatever capacity.
That is amazing. I am super excited. So what we'll make sure in your podcast description is that we have the ADRC line phone number, or is there a phone number? Do you know it by heart? Can you say it?
I do. It's 334-240-4670. That's our ADRC line.
And so people can call that and get weeded in to some services, including help with their medication if they're not already receiving it. But they could also end up getting something to eat or some other types of services as well. Oh, this is so awesome. And as long as they're over the age of 18.
Yes, for SenioRx. We do have other programs that service children. Mine does not, but for SenioRx, as long as they're over the age of 18, they can reach out.
So again, even if they have a kid who's under the age of 18 and they need help with their medication, call the ADRC line and there will be a program at CAAC that could potentially help them.
Yes.
Wow.
And if clients call, and this has happened before, clients call, they need services, and maybe they need something that we don't provide at our agency. We have something called No Wrong Door. So there is no wrong door to walk into. There is no wrong number to call. If you need help, if we don't provide it, we will find somewhere that can help you. We will make sure that you get there. We'll get you to that organization that can provide those vital resources for you.
This is such a social work agency.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the social workers need to know about this agency because these are the resources. And then we got people who are like, there is no wrong door. We will find the resource to help you get what you need.
Yes.
This makes life easier for social workers, actually, with this particular agency. So we definitely want to get the word out for them.
Right. And I know before I came to the agency, I wasn't aware that CAAC existed. But I think we're coming up on our 50th anniversary coming up in November. So we've been around for a very long time. We're just trying to make sure that we get the word out and get these vital resources out to people.
Absolutely. I think y'all are, because Yolanda's going to talk to me about that. The 50th anniversary is coming up. So it's been around for a long, long time. And I've been a social worker in Alabama for 26 years. And I think I had heard of it. But I always just assumed, because I'm not in the elderly population. I wasn't in the elderly population arena. I always just assumed it was for people 65 and older. But the more I'm getting to talk to you, I got to talk to Monica, talking to Yolanda, the executive director. I'm like, yes, aging is any of us who woke up this morning, and that the CAAC has a program that could help any of us who woke up this morning and have a particular need. And I love that you're saying no wrong door. So even if you don't have the program, you can help us find somebody who does. So that is amazing, Claire. Claire, this feels like fulfilling work. I'm wondering, like, how does this feel fulfilling for you, or do you get excited about the work that you're doing?
I get excited every day I get to wake up and go to work. It's very fulfilling for me.
That is so awesome. Yeah. Did you have those experiences before working here, or?
No.
I love how fast you said that.
But I worked in retail pharmacy, and we had so many people come through that it just wasn't going to work. They couldn't get it. They couldn't have their medications. And that's really, it's honestly really depressing. I would leave work feeling very unfulfilled because it's like I want to help my patients, but there's nothing I can do. But now that I work here, it's like Christmas every day. It's like it's your birthday every day.
Wow. And for you to leave an industry that there's nothing you can do and to be able to then jump into the solution of this is
Yes.
what I can do for you, that seems very fortuitous for you. Because I could only imagine not most people would have the opportunity to leave an industry where they felt helpless to move into an industry that now they can, yeah. How lucky are you?
I know. How lucky am I? That is something really awesome.
Yes. So we've talked about how fulfilling it is and how lucky and fortuitous you are to get to do this work, but we are the helping profession. And I'm curious, what are some of the unique challenges or stories that you've witnessed in your work?
So something I think is really interesting from my perspective, I'm 23. Well, I'll be 24 Saturday, but all intents and purposes, I'm young.
Happy birthday. I love birthdays. And so you are a Leo. Come on
Yes.
through. And you have red hair.
Yeah.
I love how you did how you did your little ear hair
Yeah.
twist. Yes, that is so Leo. Happy birthday, Claire.
Thank
What an
you.
amazing getting to be on the podcast right before your 24th birthday. What a way
Yeah.
to bring in your 24th year. I love birthdays.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're about
Yeah.
to be 24 years old
Yeah.
and
So I'm fairly young. I'm very, very new to the helping profession. Again, I've been with CAC for a little less than a year. So I have a lot of firsts. Like I've definitely had a lot of firsts in the time that I've been here. So I'm kind of just learning it all brand new.
what was one of the things that what is one of your memorable first?
I remember one of my first, because I do like in the SenioRx program, one of the things I'll do is home visits with my clients. Again, I have people that feel uncomfortable driving. They live 30 minutes away, can't make it here, lack of access to transportation. So I'll head over to them. And usually when I get to the home, I will be able to kind of identify if there is any other problems going on. And I had a client who she kept saying like her hands and her feet were just really cold. She was just really, really cold. And I was like, yeah, it kind of feels cold too. And I found out that like her heaters didn't work. And she didn't have any heating or cooling for that matter in the home. And then it's like, what do you do? How do you help? Sometimes you can feel really stuck. And I don't want to say hopeless in a way, because there's always something we can do to help out our community. But sometimes you get into situations, you're like, what do you do? What can you do? And why does the world function like this? Why do we have people living without heating and cooling? Why do we have people that don't have adequate access to food? I mean, just it's the why of it all, I think, that really gets me.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of whys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm curious because I got so excited about CAC. Was there something that you guys could do for her cooling and heating issue?
Well, actually, right now we're running a Fans for Life drive. So people can come donate box fans to the agency and we can distribute them to our clients that need it. And
That
then
is so That is so awesome. You know what? I drove up to your building. I think I was there last week and I
Mhm.
saw the little
The sign-
signage. Yeah,
yeah.
and I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
So now but I didn't slow down to read it long enough to understand what it meant. But now I'm getting it. So people are able to come to your agency, drop off box fans to help with the heating issue right now that
Mhm.
people are having with this hot summer to help
Yes.
people stay cool right now. That is so awesome. And how long will that drive be going on?
I'm not quite sure of the date. I believe it's still running right now. I think it'll run through August.
Yeah, at least the dog days of summer, right? So
Yes.
people can drop off um, box fans to to
Mhm.
their local area CAACs and help people
Yes.
stay cool. That is so awesome. And so it's not even just that, because I was like, how? I guess I wonder, because I love policy, how is the Senior RX program funded, but hearing you talking about donations,
Mhm.
I'm thinking this isn't just state or federally funded. This is also community funded. So people who want to help and may not be able to like jump into one career to another career like you were
Right.
able to do, this feels like your agency can help people feel fulfilled by donating needed items as well.
Absolutely. And, we always accept donate. We'll take donations year round, whether that is like incontinence supplies or fans or space heaters. Last year we did like a Christmas drive. We got donations and stuff for Christmas gifts. And I think we were able to give just about every single one of our clients a Christmas gift last year through, donations and the generous hearts of others.
I love that. What a beautiful agency. I am so excited to continue to learn more about it. Um, so, one of the reasons we're doing this is because the documentary Remember Me, which is about Alzheimer's and dementia,
Mhm.
is being filmed at, or is being screened at your agency on November 1st. And your program is called Senior RX, right? So, and you do have a background in the sciences. What excites you most about hosting the Remember Me screening at CAAC, especially as it relates to your own personal background
Mhm.
and what that would mean for our community?
Yeah, so I've actually had the privilege of seeing the documentary.
Yay!
Yeah, I saw it at a conference a couple of months ago, and it was awesome. I mean, it was really beautiful and also just really informational. And I was excited to like watch it. And I was trying to find. I remember I talked to, I think his name is Chuck. He created the documentary, and I was like, "Is this streaming anywhere? Can I find this on YouTube? Like, I want to show this to everybody because I think everybody should see it. People at our agency or other agencies, healthcare workers, even our community. It's important to get this information out. Or they talk about such maybe difficult but necessary things, and it's good to be prepared and know how to deal with these challenges once you encounter them. So that's why I'm really excited.
I love that you've seen it. I thought I was the only one in Alabama who's
Yeah.
seen it so far. I love that you have already seen it, Claire. That is going to be great. I can't wait to tell Chuck that people are already watching it. And so, what I heard you say is that because he's not screening it yet,
Mhm.
that this will be an opportunity for people to come in and see this film, get this really good information, listen and talk about some difficult topics that are related not just to Alzheimer's, but all the types of dementias.
Right.
And we're going to have panel discussions. So we'll have panel discussions from experts who are doing stuff like music therapy and dementia
Mhm.
and neurologists and all that. So not just watching the film, but then getting to listen to and talk to experts in the film and all the resources that the
Yeah.
CAAC provides is I think it's gonna be a good thing. So I'm glad you're excited. I'm so glad you already got to see it. So that's really good. And you'll be there
Yeah.
that day as well. So if people have more questions about Senior RX, they can find you and get you to help them.
Absolutely. And for
Oh,
any other service that they need, I mean, we'll all be there. So
yes.
anything that they need, we're always here.
That is awesome. Claire, this has been such a great interview. I've been smiling the whole time.
Yeah.
My jaws are hurting, but I am coming up to the last question or so. And I told you I was like, I always wait till I meet somebody before I figure
Mhm.
out what questions I'm gonna ask. But I told you before we hit record that I was gonna ask you this question. It seems out of left field, but it's what
Yeah.
came to mind. And I'm curious, have you ever had to walk away from something that was no longer serving you? And if you did, what advice could you give our listeners who may need to kind of intuitively know, oh, wait, it's time to walk away from this thing?
Yeah. So I have had to walk away from situations that were no longer serving me in whatever capacity. Then that can look like a lot of different things. That could be, friendships or jobs, relationships. I mean, it can look like anything. And while walking away is difficult and it often brings up a lot of different emotions, you have to do what's best for you. You really do. You have to take care of yourself first. And if you can't take care of yourself, you can't care for others as well. You need to make sure that you're happy and you're healthy and you're safe. And that is your number one priority.
It's almost like we went 360 back to the original questions. But I was like, oh my gosh, you have a degree in science and chemistry and biology. You are the coordinator of the SenioRx program. You're the chapter wellness advisor of your alumni sorority, and you're advocate for the autism community and the deaf and hard of hearing community. And I'm like, girl, what are you doing to take care of yourself? Because that is a lot. And then for you to say, you know what, I do know though when I need to walk away from something, because that too is self-care as well. It's walking away is self-care as well. That is so awesome. Claire, it has been such a pleasure getting to interview you for the Guides of Social Work podcast. I am so excited to get to see you in person on November 1st for our Remember Me screening and community gathering. And in the meantime, I will make sure people have your contact information if they want to go ahead and start reaching out to you. Let people know about the drop off the box fans, because we want them to do that. And more about the screening event in your podcast description as well, so that people can go ahead and register to attend.
Yeah. Awesome. It's been really fun being here. I've really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Tell your mom I said hi.
I will.
I just think she must be a very powerful woman. So I'm like, tell her we said hi, and thank you for raising such amazing daughters, because they got really lucky with her. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Good. Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Goddesses of Social Work podcast. We are glad you were here. If you liked this episode, please come back to hear more stories of the journeys through social work, and please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify. See you next time here on the Goddesses of Social Work podcast.